Good evening, everyone. This is Marie Sullivan, and at this time, I'm going to call to order the November 24, 2020 board meeting of the Maricopa County Community College District Governing Board. It's 6:31 p.m. And with that, I'm going to call roll for board members. I will start with our student advisory member, Ms. Munoz. Are you present? Moving on, Mr. Hendricks.
Present.
Thank you. Nice to hear your voice. Mrs. McGrath.
Present.
Great. Dr. Narini.
I'm here.
Good. Mr. Starr.
Ditto.
Happy Thanksgiving. Dr. Thor.
Present.
Great. Ms. Quinn.
Present.
I'm present. Ms. Munoz, are you able to respond? With that, I'll call roll as a 7 full quorum of the board members, and we'll move on. So I want to make an announcement that we are live captioning our meetings. So please look in the chat window of our WebEx meeting where you will find a link. Please click on that link to open a web page with the live captioning notation. Also would like to note this evening that we have some substitutions. Dr. Stephanie Pucci is in for Dr. Chris Haynes, interim president of Scottsdale Community College. And with that, we'll move to the Faculty Executive Council report. Ms. Nango. Are you there, Ms. Nango?
I am. You hear me?
Great. Yeah, please, your turn. Go forward.
Thank you. President Sullivan, members of the board, members of CC, Chancellor, and guests. Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to share my thoughts about the new year. Things are changing. On behalf of the Faculty Executive Council wishes to welcome the newly elected governing board members, Susan Bitter-Smith and Jacqueline Smith, and elected members Tom Narini and Linda Thor. Congratulations on your successful campaigns. We look forward to working with you and the incumbent governing board members, continuing to build a successful and productive future for our students, communities, and employees. Thank you also to the departing board members, Dana Saar and Lauren Hendricks, for your service on the governing board. Spring semester arrives, FEC is looking forward to developing and enriching our partnerships with the Interim Employee Senate, the Adjunct Faculty Association, senior councils, members of the Chancellor's Executive and Resources, and the Interim Chancellor. We welcome the opportunity to continue the good work being done on behalf of and with our students, employees, business partners, and communities. In closing, short message tonight, the Faculty Association would like to recognize and applaud the tireless and innovative work of MCCCD employees with and for our students. They have risen to the constantly shifting challenges brought by the pandemic with grace, energy, creativity, compassion, commitment, and a laser focus on our students' well-being and success. You have our deepest appreciation. Thank you for your time, and the Faculty Association wishes everyone a happy holiday season.
Thank you, Ms. Nango, and happy Thanksgiving to you.
Thank you.
Moving on to the Adjunct Faculty Association report by Dr. Terry Train. The update and the leadership was stated in a written report that was submitted and is attached to the agenda. And so with that, we're going to move on to our Interim Employee Senate report. And with that, Ms. Anna Chandler and Ms. Shannon Manji are going to be our presenters this evening.
Thank you, President Sullivan, members of the board, Dr. Gonzalez, members of CEC, and guests. My name is Shannon Manji. I'm an administrative assistant to academic affairs at Paradise Valley Community College. I am before you today as the co-chair of the Interim Employees Senate. Next slide, please. We would like to offer first at the beginning of our presentation gratitude to many of our employees throughout the system. Our first level of gratitude, we would like to thank our essential on-campus workers that have been at our campuses and keeping them safe and healthy during this time. Our M&O staff, our college police, and public safety. Although our colleagues in these departments would not ask this, Anna and I will. We ask that you all get creative in showing your appreciation and gratitude to these colleagues. Some ideas include coffee and bagels delivered in the morning, box lunches, snacks and treats, handwritten thank you cards with a small gift card inside. These tokens of appreciation can and will go a long way. Supervisors, administration, and district leadership, please take advantage of the upcoming holidays and breaks and give your staff in these departments some much deserved time off. Some ideas include staggered scheduling, bring in some contract workers, or postpone a project for a few days. These folks deserve this, and time with their loved ones means more now than ever. Next slide, please. Some other gratitudes we would like to share across the system. Our IT and our help desk colleagues, thank you for taking on the enormous task of moving the entire district online. You have kept our students, faculty, and staff connected and able to succeed. To all staff, thank you for adapting your job into an online environment. As well, thank you to those that have returned to campus during the fall semester, following protocols, keeping everybody safe and healthy while still serving students in the community. Faculty, thank you for adapting your teaching and your classroom into the virtual world. We know that you miss your students. You have given our students some stability during this crazy time by still being able to continue on their educational journey. HR leadership, thank you for the quick development of policies to address employees' concern during this time. We look forward to continued collaboration, empathy, and understanding as we continue to address this ever-changing situation in 2021. Campus leadership, thank you for keeping your campuses strong during this time. You have taken on many roles that you could not have anticipated and have done so gracefully. District leadership, thank you for holding us together. A lot falls on your shoulders, more so now than ever, and you continue to support without pause. To our governing board, thank you for allowing us to continue to work under a shared governance model and continue to work remotely to serve our students and community. The Employees Senate looks forward to working with the newly elected board members and wish good luck to the departing board members on their next adventure. Next slide, please. As an update from our communication team, our monthly newsletters contain items such as matters of interest, committee updates, Senate successes, professional growth, Heritage Month events, and governing board updates. The most important aspect of our communication team and our monthly newsletters is that they solicit feedback from classified employees. We have received a great deal of positive feedback and gratitude for these communications and our efforts. We hope you all enjoy receiving those emails. Next slide, please. The Employee Senate's policy team engaged with all classified staff in October through a policy priorities survey where staff shared their feedback on which policies work, which don't, and which policies should be made a priority for the district to address. We received 516 responses, which included over 1,287 individual comments. We are also working with district HR to develop a collaborative policy adoption and approval process that integrates employee voices and allows for staff to actively participate in policy development. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Shannon. We would like to also do a huge shout out to our Mercer group and HR specifically. They took the time to meet with the Employee Senate representatives and work with us to understand what shared governance meant to us, and being able to get everyone to see what the Mercer group was doing along with the HR team. So because of our constituency groups, they were able to essentially work together, and within that support and bringing back the study to all of Maricopa, we had 375 employees attend our first session, 300 employees attend the second, and then we had 400 plus employees attend the third session. When we got feedback and takeaways, concerns, we were able to look at all staff in that regard. And we talked about equity and pay, placement, reclassification, career growth, and then diversity, equity, inclusion. So then again, thank you so much, HR, and your leadership and really working on a shared governance model for us to all be able to work together to find a common ground. Next slide, please. Next, we'd like to speak to employee wellness. As we come to the end of fall 2020, and we want employees to make sure that they're putting themselves first and rejuvenating from a very challenging and unpredictable year. Thank you to all in various leadership roles for supporting staff and supporting individuals to taking time off while serving students. For spring 2021, as we embark on an unknown spring 2021, we want to echo and thank the Chancellor for his district-wide message that went out this past week. Just with the flexibility and understanding that families and employees are still going to be going under the same challenges that we've been facing these last few months. We really appreciated a one message to all of Maricopa in order to support that, and in supporting leaders as well to support their employees. For the new normal of 2021, though our new normal is going to be uncertain, we hope that all Maricopans will continue to show understanding and empathy. We all have grown and learned so much in 2020, and we know that many of us are missing our students and the consistency of going to campus and seeing our colleagues. But let's continue to be safe and progressive while taking on everything we've learned from 2020 into 2021 to make it an amazing year. As far as enrollment as well, staff are under a lot of pressure right now as we too understand the negative that we've fallen into and are working hard to increase our enrollment numbers. There are still resources needed to do our jobs though, and so we do hope that there will still be support in getting the resources such as better technology and more staff, which include recruiters, advisors, and frontline staff, as well as other supporting roles to make sure that we're able to serve students to the best of our abilities. We also just wanted to encourage team leaders to check in with their teams and make sure that they have those resources and what is going to help them be successful as we are unsure of the transition into the new year. And lastly, in our update, we just wanted to update you on our diversity, equity, inclusion, and engagement. We are still finding it very important to support these initiatives through the Employee Senate as well as a district. Shannon and I will be attending our first Diversity Advisory Council meeting in December, and we're really looking forward to being a part of this and working with our constituency groups, as well as supporting our employees that are already on the Senate that are a part of these constituency groups. We hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving, and thank you so much for allowing us to report tonight.
Thank you, and very happy Thanksgiving to you and all of the employee staff. Thank you. Moving on to student life reports. I understand we will be hearing from Mesa Community College, and I'd like to welcome Ms. Beth N. Wright and Lorena Austin, student government advisors, in addition with Judith Nante and Shanika Clay, who are president and vice president of the Associated Students of Mesa Community College. Welcome.
Hello, thank you so much. My name is Judith Nante, and we are the ASMCC e-board at Mesa Community College. Good evening, President Sullivan, Chancellor Gonzalez, CEC, and guests. We are an all-female young women of color e-board. Next slide, please. And this quote says, "There is no force more powerful than a woman determined to rise." As a thank you. As a young women of color e-board, we have been working so hard this year, and we are so grateful for the opportunity to be representing 15,000 students at Mesa Community College and working with 3 amazing advisors. Next slide, please. We are a little bit about us. I am the ASMC president And we have Shanika Clay, our ASMCC Vice President. We have Alejandra Castañeda, our ASMCC Vice President of Red Mountain, and our amazing President of Communications, Galia Ochoa. And this is our current e-board. Next slide, please.
Hello, my name is Shanika Clay. I'm the Vice President of ASMCC, and our goals as an e-board is to be committed to be change agents for diversity, equity, and inclusion at MCC, and to empower other female students and leaders to support MCC students through a virtual environment, such as connecting them to our campus and community resources, and present the student voice of MCC students. Next slide, please.
Part of our work this year, we were able to do a Young People's Forum with the Mesa Police Department. We had the opportunity to hear from Chief Cheng Haas, and we were able to submit around questions from students so that they can ask during this forum. And we also will be hosting other 2 forums at the college with the Mesa Police Department to hold accountability, hold collaboration our city. And we were so thankful for the event, and we had around 40 people attend, and it was a really big success.
We also have virtual student senate meetings every Thursday where student clubs get to share their announcements and their upcoming events with other student clubs. And we also have organizations and departments at MCC who come and present about their departments and the resources that they offer to MCC students. Next slide, please.
As well as we were able to attend some of our e-board members, able to attend the S2 conference, which is the Student Government Conference. And something that I learned is that we can surround ourselves with people who care. And that's a big part of why the e-board is made up of young women. And we're determined to be able to make year, as well as I learned through the conference that we need to have spaces that we can control as leaders, and being able to have transparency and communication with the college is so important. And we were able to connect with other students across the nation who are going through similar setbacks and trials. In this virtual world, doing student government has not been easy, but together in the conference, we were able to really focus and be able to help each other with different tips and what it's like to be in the virtual world. Next slide, please.
So for future events that we are planning, we have the Women Empowerment Series, where we want to encourage young women to pursue their dreams and to hear the stories of successful women to motivate them and make them believe that anything is possible.
We are also planning and being able to hold sessions with students as well. And this listening session is to bring forward students' concerns, and that will be happening the upcoming semester. Next slide.
And then we have student life. So for student life, so student engagement is one of the highlights of the MCC student experience. And we, even though we're not together on campus right now, there are still opportunities to engage with like organizations, the advisors, and the staff. They also offer virtual events, leadership programs, resources, and services such as multicultural and social justice programming, and as well as civic engagement. Next slide, please.
During the virtual world, we've been able to have the Mesa Market curbside pickup, which I personally have been able to go every other week to be able to get food for my family and myself, as well as the We Care Wednesday, which is once a month. And it's happening at both colleges now, and we were able to distribute food to students in need. Currently, we just had the friends and family celebration boxes, which was a huge success, and 50 students were able to get box of food as well as a grocery gift card to support their families and themselves through this upcoming holiday. Next slide.
And here we have some photos of events that MCC has done, as you can see. So although we're in an online setting now, we can still be together virtually. And yeah, next slide, please.
Thank you so much for this lovely session, and we are able to connect in a virtual world. Our amazing Vice President of Communications has been able to hold accountable our Instagram and our Facebook, and you can all follow us at Student Government MCC as well as TikTok. Next slide. And I thought there was another slide, sorry. Thank you so much for this awesome opportunity to speak. And we're so proud to be Thunderbirds and to be able to represent all of the students that are taking online classes. And we'd like to thank our amazing advisors and team for having a successful semester and a future awesome spring semester as well. Go Thunderbirds.
Thank you, Ms. Nante and Ms. Clay. Very powerful presentation, and congratulations on all the good work you're doing, and happy Thanksgiving to you and your families. I loved your photo, by the way. But with that, moving on, Student Senate reports, there are none. And then I'd like you to note on the agenda, the next item is Emeritus Awards and Recognition. With this, honorees will be approved tonight during the consent agenda. As we begin to establish new normal processes across our system, one area we will be returning to is recognizing the outstanding contributions of our faculty as they retire from our system. Following the board meeting, we will include an article recognizing the recipients in the Maricopa newsletter that will include a short profile and a photo of the recipients. Our board assistant will forward the newsletter to all of tonight's recipients. We are hopeful that we will be able to celebrate your distinction in a more formal manner sometime in the near future. And thank you for your service and dedication to the district. We remain extremely proud of all of you. With that, moving to the Chancellor report, Dr. Gonzalez.
Thank you, President Sullivan, members of the board, CEC, and guests that are with us this evening. I want to apologize in advance because somebody is coming into my home and I think our dog may begin barking. So I might mute very quickly if that begins to happen. I apologize. I do have a few updates to provide you on what's happening across our system. As others have shared before me this evening, this is a time of Thanksgiving and expression of gratitude. And I'm very thankful for our faculty, staff, and administration for their continued dedication and hard work during these unprecedented times. I'm especially thankful for those that have been to work on our campus sites since the beginning of this pandemic, and that work is not going unnoticed. As was mentioned by our interim Senate representatives, a message went out yesterday across the district that was providing an update. It was a twofold message, purpose message, and that first was to express our Thanksgiving to all of our employees and thank them for the good work that they're doing. Secondly, it was to address what we were calling return to work. And I want to point something out in that I received an email from a faculty member at Estrella Mountain that pointed out that we should reconsider the use of that term to say return to campus, because return to work sort of insinuates that while we've been away from our campuses that no work has been going on, when in fact everybody has continued to work. Where they work is really been the difference. So I'm going to start to call it a return to campus and attempt to refrain from calling it a return to work plan. So it's our return to campus plan. Based on the numbers that we continue to see and the sharp rise, and whether that changes significantly between now and the start of the spring semester, I would say that our return to campus plan is in a status quo mode of where we are today. We've got a very small percentage of employees that are working on our sites, and the rest of them will continue to teach online and serve students online, and to lead and conduct their other work remotely. So moving on to spring enrollment. As it was pointed out earlier during a work session by Mr. Saar, we're 9 weeks away from the start of the spring semester, and our head count is currently down 18.7%. FTSE is down FTSE is down 19.1%. And as I mentioned earlier, we are doing many things to slow down that decline and to increase the number of students that will see us here in the spring semester. And I plan to also share this, as Mr. Saar pointed out, 3 of our colleges are experiencing positive enrollment growth despite some of these declines, and that's Scottsdale, Gateway, and Rio Salado. And so we do spend time with one another amongst the colleges, sharing what seems to be working well and what maybe isn't working so well, and attempting to adopt those practices as quickly as possible so that some of the other colleges may begin to see some of those trends reverse. Tomorrow morning between 8 and 8:30, you should see a communication that goes out across the district related to a return to play for sports and a final decision on that. I want to thank the ad hoc group that consisted of some athletic directors, a couple vice presidents, and college presidents that put together a return to play guide that would be followed if we come back. I want to thank the coaches, athletic directors, student athletes, coaches, I think I said coaches already, and everyone else that is involved in the Maricopa Community College athletic programs that have been patient and understanding through this process. And we know that it's been difficult for them as well to be on the sidelines, and please pardon the pun there. I also want to thank Executive Director of Public Health for Maricopa County, Dr. Marcy Flanagan, who provided expert guidance to this ad hoc committee in the development of this return to play for sports guide. And as I said, we will be sharing that final decision tomorrow morning through a district-wide communication and also a press release. Finally, I mentioned to you in our last board meeting, moving forward with some critical searches for high-level positions that included the CEO of our foundation, the chief operating officer, and the 3 college presidents. We have started processes related to each of those, and in looking at and recognizing that we were up against the back end of the fall semester, and also looking at preliminary timeline, we developed a little bit of angst in our ability to complete 3 important searches at the president's level, all during the spring semester. So we've made a decision to slow that down some. We can still begin the process during the spring semester to do some of the legwork so that when we come back in the fall, we can really ramp up the search for 2 of those searches. The one search that we feel very comfortable moving forward with, given their adeptness to working in a virtual environment, is Rio Salado. So we will continue on the path to fill the Rio Salado presidency position. In fact, we've already started that work, and there are many details to be finalized, but of course, we're going to work closely with the faculty and staff and appropriate administration at Rio and our consultant firm to help us secure the best possible pool during this time. That concludes my updates, President Sullivan, and I want to wish you and the other board members a happy Thanksgiving, and a happy Thanksgiving to all of the employees and students of Maricopa. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope you and your family also enjoy a holiday. And I was going to get you off the hook on the dog and say it was mine, just in case. But anyway, thank you. With that, I'm going to move to citizens interim, and I'd like to say, remind people this is an opportunity for members of the public to address the governing board. In compliance with the open meeting law, the governing board will neither discuss nor act on issues raised during this portion of the agenda. When necessary, issues will be taken under advisement and placed on a subsequent agenda. Presenting concerns to the board and the free expression of ideas should be communicated with decorum and respect. Uncivil or disorderly conduct is not permitted. The use of derisive or insulting language or the direction of remarks that defame, attack, or harass an individual may serve as cause for the board's president to direct that the speaker immediately conclude his or her remarks. While in the nature of how we are doing these meetings, we do, in fact, this evening have a presentation for citizens interim, but as the protocol we've been following in past or more recent past, I will read the piece. It's being presented by a Mr. Brandon Kent, former student at Chandler Gilbert Community College. He's been told that his issue needed to be presented to the board. So with that, I will read his statement to us, recognizing that we cannot comment at this time. His statement: I am a former student that cannot re-enroll due to outstanding balance. However, I paid my student loans off back in 2012, and somehow there is a remaining balance of roughly $800 preventing me from transferring credits or continuing my education. I was informed that I would need to present to the board to waive the fees or recognize them as a mistake. And that concludes his statement, and I expect possibly someone will follow up with him at that end. So thank you, Mr. Kent, for your comment this evening. So moving on now to the consideration of the consent agenda items. All items with an asterisk on the agenda are consent matters unless they are removed from the consent agenda at this time. So I asked, do any board members or the chancellor wish to remove any items from the consent agenda? Being no comment, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda with a second?
This is Dane. I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second, Linda Thorpe.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on the motion? I guess any discussion on the motion itself? Being none, all those in favor? I'm going to call your name for the vote. Mr. Hendricks?
Aye.
Ms. McGrath?
Aye.
Dr. Narini?
Aye.
Mr. Saar?
Aye.
Dr. Thor?
Aye.
Ms. Nguyen?
Aye.
I vote aye. And Ms. Munoz, is there a comment from the student or vote from the student advisory member?
No comment, just voting aye.
Thank you. So with that, the motion carries 7-0. And we then move to the first reading of information items, item 15.1, employment and separations. Is there any comment on the report presented for September 19, 2020 through October 16, 2020? If so, please speak up. Being none, monitoring reports, business services, the burn report, review budget analysis, report fund 1. Is there any comment from any board member on item 16.1? Being none, moving on to item 17, the governing board reports. And with that, Mr. Hendricks, do you have any comments?
No report.
Thank you. Ms. McGrath?
No report.
Dr. Narini?
Thank you.
first, I want to congratulate Dr. Thor on the election. I look forward to working with her for the next 4 years on the board. And wanted to point out to Mesa's associated students and point out that I'm in a very proud minority on the board, the new board coming up, being the only male on the board. So I think they've kind of set a trend with what they're doing. So, and as a Mesa alum, I'm especially proud of what they're doing out at Mesa. Let's see. I also want to congratulate Dr. Peterson for being selected to serve on the governing board for the Hispanic Association of Colleges and University. It's a great organization that's going to be even better with Dr. Peterson serving on their board. Another congrats goes out to Estrella Mountain Community College and Regina Hernandez Garcia, who put on a very successful, what I hope is going to be an annual conference called the First Generation for Many Conference that help a lot of our first generation students that need the help to transition to college and just going on to the world. So that was an outstanding conference that they put on, and it's the first one, and I just hope it's the first of many. But finally, what I want to talk about a little bit, I was invited to attend the Victoria Foundation Awards program this last week, where one of our own, Dr. Maria Reyes, was presented with the Alfredo de los Santos Award for Outstanding Faculty. It was a well-deserved award, even before I found out all the wonderful things that she's done for the district and for the community. Her work with STEM education, getting a few grants from some little-known agencies like NASA and the Department of Education and the Department of Labor and the National Science Foundation, and a whole string of other accomplishments that she's done with the help and support of her family and especially her father, Jose Torres. And we all know that 2020 has been, a year of a lot of struggles and a lot of losses. And one of our biggest losses I think we've had this year was her father passing, Jose Torres, was a mentor of mine and a mentor of many at Mesa. And his loss is going to be profoundly felt and greatly missed. And I'll always be grateful for the impact that he had on me and for my education and the impact that Dr. Reyes has had on the college and will continue to have on the district. So that's it for my report. Just everybody have a happy Thanksgiving and a wonderful holiday, and stay safe and wash your hands, wear a mask, do all those good things.
Thank you, Dr. Narini. Mr. Saar.
No report.
Dr. Thor.
Thank you, Ms. Sullivan. In turn, I would like to congratulate Dr. Narini on his reelection to the governing board, and I also look forward to continuing to work with him as well as our new governing board members. I want to thank the One World Committee at Chandler Gilbert Community College, who invited me to be a human book in their virtual human library program earlier this month. And I really appreciated the opportunity to tell my story to students and members of the community. And if any of the board members have not had the opportunity to attend one of the human library events, I really encourage you to do so. Besides Chandler Gilbert, a number of the other colleges hold these events as well, in which they invite people from very diverse backgrounds to share their personal stories and respond to questions from students. I also attended one of the town halls that was held on the staff classification and compensation system project, and I want to commend the Human Resources Division and the team that not only put together this town hall, but who are working on the market salary study as well as the review of the staff classification structure. I thought that it was extremely comprehensive. It was on target. It was very transparent, very collaborative. And as a board member who has waited a very long time to see these issues addressed, I was delighted with the very aggressive timeline for completing this project. And I would like to join with the others in wishing everyone a happy Thanksgiving in whatever form Thanksgiving is taking place for you this year. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Thor. Ms. Nguyen.
Just a couple comments. I first wish everyone a very wonderful, happy Thanksgiving, and I'm having a lot less people than I normally do, so hopefully less stress. I do want to acknowledge Chandler Gilbert for their graduating the class of 2021, the Academy class of police officers. I think all of the officers that have graduated have got jobs, maybe one exception. And I think it's great that we are continuing to contribute law enforcement officers into our community. I also want to acknowledge, I think it was done in tonight's report, our law enforcement officers on all of our campuses are essential personnel, and they've been there since day one, protecting our assets, if you will, of the community college. And in the next few weeks, we'll be taking hundreds of children out with Shop with a Cop. It's not only our department, but it's police officers across the state that will be attending. And for many of these children, it's the only way that they will get Christmas. So I'm proud of the work that we do and the work that we continue to do in our community to make our community a better place. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nguyen. Ms. Munoz, I know it's been difficult for you to participate this evening. Are you there, and do you have any comments?
I am here. Not really any comments. I think everything was said, and I think Ms. Nguyen did a lovely job just kind of wrapping that up. And, you know, I do want to reiterate appreciating, you know, those first responders, because I think we sometimes forget to be grateful for them, and I think they do such a huge role in our community. So I just want to reiterate, sorry about that, giving thanks to them, and, you know, especially those that have signed up to continue on and, you know, step up to be the next first responders.
Thank you. Any other comment from you?
For me.
Okay, thank you. So my turn, and I'd like to first congratulate my colleagues, Dr. Thor and Mr. Narini, on their win in the last board election. Also would like to acknowledge, though we'll do a better job of this in the future, my colleagues, Mr. Hendricks and Mr. Saar, who have been dedicated and committed leaders to this district. And as they move to their next gigs, both quite significant, we will certainly miss their participation, but stay tuned, there's more to come on that issue. And last, also, if Ms. Bittersmith and Ms. Smith are listening this evening, congratulations to you, and we look forward to our work together in the coming years. With that, you know, you all have so many wonderful things to say, board members, of paying attention to the activities that are going on in the district. And also, as I was reflecting with the presentations this evening, there is just such a tremendous amount of work that's being done by so many people in this district at all strata, in all regards. And, you know, at Thanksgiving, when it is a time to consider with gratitude those with whom we work and those with whom we surround ourselves and those with whom we participate, you know, it is just very rewarding, and I'm extremely thankful to be part of such an enterprise. And for those of you who are on the call, please know and accept my sincere gratitude for the work that you do every day. And know that though not every single one of you are personally recognized, we do recognize that you make significant contributions. So just appreciate that you are part of this, and I'm honored to be part of it with you. The other thing I'd like to say, I was invited to be a member of the Council of Board Chairs for the Association of Governing Boards, and accepted that a while back, and had my first meeting with leaders from around the United States who are championing their own boards, or whether they're university systems. I'm one of 5 community college representatives on the Association Council of Board Chairs. And as I attended my first meeting and was listening to the activity of other places, it was also important that for me to be able to understand that so many of the struggles that we talk about are not rare, and that everyone is looking for solutions. And so that we're all in, again, to hear that phrase, we're all in this together, we are. And there are always good resources for us to fall back on to communicate with others, to find out what is the next best thing, what can we do. And so I'm very honored to have been invited to participate in that, and I hope to learn a lot and share it with all of you as time goes on. I would like to remind everyone that we're moving fast and furious as the year closes out, and in the tradition of this district, we tend to not have meetings the last few weeks of December. So next week, December 1, we will jump off again with an agenda review for a December 8 meeting. And we will also have a work session. Dr. Gonzalez and his team would like to present on 4DX. So we will be hearing about that next Tuesday evening in a work session. Our next regularly scheduled board meeting will be December 8th at 6:30. And then we move after that into the new year with all sorts of fun things in 21. May it be a better 21 than it was a 20 for so many people. So again, I want to cast a wide net to say happy Thanksgiving to all of you, and may your families and you be blessed, and may you appreciate and enjoy the company that you can keep under this stressful time for so many. So with that, I'm going to end the meeting, and thank you. And thank you, Elsa and IT team, for once again keeping us on track. And with that, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Good night.